welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Emily and this is my boyfriend Kevin, and we film daily vlogs, we do fitness videos, we do a lot of food in our videos, so please subscribe down below not to miss future uploads. And today we just wanted to show you how we've been making spring rolls from scratch, I guess, kind of. Technically. Maybe not, I don't know. But they're ground pork spring rolls and they're amazing.
They're macro friendly because they're baked, and I'll show you guys the macros at the end of the video.
Yes, so just keep watching.
Alright guys, this is going to be our ingredients for tonight. So we're going to start out with that 1 pound of ground pork. We have it in this container here. We're going to brown this first, just seasoning it with a pinch of salt and some pepper, and I'll show you guys what to do after that. We're going to break up this ground pork. I believe it's 80-20 ground pork. You can honestly do it with ground chicken, ground beef, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that you use meat that is not too high in fat, because it can get very spongy and chewy after it is baked. So that little bit of fat will add a little bit of flavor, and I personally like the texture and the flavor of pork much better when it comes to spring rolls or egg rolls.
And also, you don't even have to use meat if you don't want to. I like veggie spring rolls myself, but since we're making them with pork, I like them with pork.
Yep. Alright, so while you guys are browning the meat here, go ahead and put your oven preheating to 425. By the time this is all browned and ready to go, it should be preheated for you. So one important tip while you guys are browning the pork, go ahead and chop it up very finely, because me personally, I don't want to have big chunks of ground pork into that spring roll. It could possibly lead to you busting your spring roll while you're trying to rolling it. So go ahead and crumble it up as best as you can. So we browned the meat. Now we're going to drain it so our spring roll don't end up really soggy. So go ahead and drain that real nice, and then go ahead and get yourself a big mixing bowl, and you're going to dump that into it. So hit this big white one. After it's drained real nice, go ahead and dump it in there. Alright, next we're going to finally shred our cabbage. And then add our green onions, our sesame oil, oyster sauce, garlic, chili sauce, all into the same bowl and mix it up. We didn't have much green onions left after our first batch. So go ahead and get yourself like 2 to 3 green onions, chop it up, and don't be afraid to put a lot into it, because once you start cooking it, it's just going to dissolve, and it's not going to fill up that much volume into the bowl. Alright, we just added the green onions and garlic in here. We added a little extra garlic because we like our food a little garlicky. Next, we're going to chop our 1-2 cups of finely chopped cabbage. So this is leftover from our last batch of spring rolls. So go ahead and just eyeball it, because when you cook down cabbage, again, it's going to shrink a lot, so don't be afraid to put a lot in it. Alright, so that's 1 to 2 cup finely shredded cabbage, but I just like to do 2 big handfuls of cabbage. So there's 1. There's about a half. I'm going to add a little bit more, because cabbage is awesome at just soaking up that flavor. And I promise that you just can't go wrong with a little bit of extra cabbage. And here's the other half of the cabbage. So, pro tip, when you're doing this recipe, you're going to have leftover cabbage. So go ahead and get yourself a resealable bag. And if you have those fancy machines that suck out all the air, that'd be awesome to do, because if you have half cut cabbage into the fridge, you can get pretty soggy. So what I like to do, since we don't have that fancy machine that sucks all the air out, I get a straw, get a Ziploc bag, and lock it up until you hit that straw, just like that. And you're just gonna suck all that air out. So push it all out and just seal up. It's not going to be perfect, but this is going to be better than nothing. Alright guys, now we're going to put our 2 teaspoons of chili sauce in there. We're going to use Sriracha. I'm just going to eyeball it, but around 2 teaspoons is a good place to be. So, oh, yeah, I don't like it. There we go. Next, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Now, I know what you guys are going to say. Some of you guys think that oyster sauce is going to be pretty gross, and when you smell it, it does smell a little fishy. However, this adds a lot of flavor. Like when you go to a Chinese restaurant and you have that savory, like umami flavor, this is what's going to be. So, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. You guys can use a tablespoon, or I like to use my food scale. 1 tablespoon is going to be about 15 grams of this stuff. So, I'm going to go to grams and then get that in there. Now, since I added a little more cabbage, I'm going to go a little more than... Alright, next, we're going to use this sesame oil. This stuff is really strong. If you have never used it, please be careful with it. If you put a little too much, the whole meal can get very messed up. So, I have half a teaspoon right over here. We're going to add 2 of these. So, here we go. But it smells so good. If you add this a little bit to rice or any of your meals, it is absolutely delicious. So 1 teaspoon there. Now the beauty about making spring rolls, you can add whatever you want to it. So me personally, we just bought this Korean barbecue sauce from the store. I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of it into the mixture here. You know, add a little extra flavor. Or you guys can add soy sauce if you like. So that's half, 1, 1/2, and 2. So that should be it for our mixture. I'm just going to get a spoon here and mix all that up. So this is what it looks like right now. After you mix it, this is what it's going to look like. And I know it doesn't look like it's very saucy, but you don't want it to be saucy because when you put on that spring roll paper, you want this to be pretty dry and soaked into the meat and the cabbage. So what you can do with this, you can actually put in spring roll right now and start wrapping it up, or you can put it in the fridge for 30 minutes, an hour, or overnight to let all that sauce soak in, and it'll be delicious. But we are very hungry right now, so we're going to just start making it now, and we'll show you the wrapping process next. So we found these at a local international store. I think it was like an Indian store, but I believe if you have any other like Oriental store nearby, I know some Walmarts do carry this, or like Food Lion or Publix. So if you go to a regular Oriental store nearby, they should have it or something like this. So I'm going to lay this pastry down with the pointy side. What do you call this? The diamond side?
I don't know.
So you're going to lay this diamond side. So you're going to get about 1 tablespoon of this mixture and put it in the middle of the pastry. Like so. Then you're going to get the bottom side up, fold it over, and use the top of the pastry to pack that mixture in there and make it into a tube. If some stragglers come out, just go ahead and poke it back in and get it packed in. Now, I personally like to fold it over one more time before getting the edges set in. And then fold this down, get the edge in there. Now it's important that these edges go straight up, so when you fold it up, it's going to be nice and straight. So this is where the cornstarch mixture come in. So you're gonna have 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of water. Mix that in there, and then you're going to rub that in on the edge. Yeah. You're going to rub this mixture in at the top, and what it's going to do is going to act like a glue. You can actually use a beaten egg for this, but we're trying to keep that fat content down to have the best macros, so we're going to use a cornstarch mixture. So here it is. And then you're going to put this on a baking sheet lined with aluminum foil, and then you brush it with some olive oil or a beaten egg. It'll make it crunchy. We've just finished wrapping these. These are about to go in the oven for 10 minutes, and then you're going to flip them over and then do 10 more minutes. It'll be nice and crispy. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. These are what it looks like right now. They haven't changed much, but in 10 more minutes, they're going to get darker and more crispier. Emily's going to go in and flip these right now and throw them back in the oven. Oh, one thing I forgot to say, the first 10 minutes, make sure you guys put the spring roll where the folded side is down, so as they cook, they don't come loose. So if these were up the first 10 minutes, it probably would have unfolded it and it's crispy, and it would have probably broken up. We made one fat one, it's about to bust up, but hopefully it doesn't. Still pretty crispy. Alright, these are gonna go back in the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, everyone. Our second 10 minute is done, and as you can hear, these are very crispy, and we didn't even fry. We're gonna have to use a lot of oil. So after this, go ahead and put them on a plate or on a cooling rack and let them just cool down for another 10 minutes, because this is gonna be a ball of fire if you try to bite into it right now. Have it with some duck sauce, your favorite dipping sauce, whatever you want to do to try different things, and enjoy. And for those of you who count macros or macros are important to you, for one spring roll, these are going to be your macros. You got 4 grams of protein, 10 grams of carb, and about 2.5 grams of fat, which turns out to be about 80 calories per spring roll. Again, these are really fun if you guys want to make it with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your friends, and you guys can customize it however you like. So if you want like a breakfast spring roll, go and get that paper, cook with some scrambled eggs, sausage, and some spinach, put it in there, bake it for 20 minutes, and it'll be good to go. I think we can try that.
Yeah, I actually really want to try that.
That sounds delicious. Or if you guys want to make like a pizza spring roll, you guys can put I would recommend like leaner pepperoni, not regular one, maybe turkey, because the regular one, the grease will leak out and make it pretty soggy. So you guys can put, I don't know, whatever into it, and it'll be delicious.
So many opportunities, they're endless.
So if you guys make this at home, please comment down below what you did differently, what you would change, and I would love to hear from you guys. Like this video and subscribe, and thank you for watching.
One last thing, if you do make these spring rolls and any variations of them, make sure to add me on Instagram. My username will be right after this clip, but it is at EmilyDavis_803. I would love to see your creations. Peace out.